to our module number 4. I am really excited to be here. I'm excited to be here every week. So we're coming into our module number 4, and the big topic of discussion is intuition. Intuition, oh boy. I've got so much to tell you about this, and I'm going to really try and ram it into this hour together. So this is going to be really, really exciting. So, intuition. Some of you might be fully aware of this word or know of it, and others might have never heard of this word before and might think that it's really strange. This is such a good one. In fact, this subject was something that really triggered quite strongly for me. I was first taught about this when I did my yoga teacher's training, actually, and we had an amazing philosophical teacher. And it really hit home for me, this one. And intuition is a big, big doorway into your spirituality, into your healing, into your understanding about the support on the other side. So some see it as a female energy and others see it as male and female. And earlier in our module 1, I was talking about the polarity of masculine and feminine energy and the fact that we have both of them inside of us. And that's absolutely true. I feel like intuition does link quite strongly with the feminine energy, and a lot of females feel like very strongly connected to this idea as well. But actually, if guys can connect to this too, it is extraordinarily powerful. So we're actually coming into what's known as the third eye. And this dates back to so many different religions, so many different ancient texts. It's been written about for thousands of years, this mysterious third eye that sits in the forehead. And like I say, some of you might have seen paintings, some of you might have heard about it, read about it, seen it on TV, seen films about it. It's there's a reason why it's talked about, and it's a big, big topic. Okay, so there's a Sanskrit translation for the third eye, and it's known as the Anya chakra or the Ajna chakra. It's basically the third eye. There's so many different ways of pronouncing the third eye in the Sanskrit. Now, third eye awareness, the ability to see what your physical eyes cannot see. Okay, I'm just going to repeat that. If you've got that pen and paper, I want you to write this down. Third eye, the ability to see what your physical eyes cannot see. So it goes beyond the physical plane. And this is when it gets a little bit trippy now. All right, so your third eye is this, the idea of this eye, seeing via your intuition, seeing through your body and seeing always on the course of love, always on the course of helping you, always on the course to your higher self. So some say it's your soul's eye, it's the ability of your soul to see right through you and try to guide you on the best path possible. And very, very often that eye is deeply, tightly closed, shut. And now I'm asking you to open it up. Today, right now, I'm asking you to open it up. So this might be the first ever sort of training you've had in this, which means I'm very, very privileged to guide you on this journey. But the idea, I even want you to bring into your mind the idea of this eye. Really big, beautiful eye in your forehead. You can't see it, but it's there. And the idea of it starting to open. The eyelashes start to peel away from one another. Opening it up. So last week I had the big subject of believe, and that was a huge one. I was asking everybody to find your sign. What is your sign? What is your sign? Whether it's a feather, whether it's a robin, whether it's a number, whether it's a place, whether it's a song, whether it's anything, a certain animal that you like, it's totally going to be unique to you because you would recognize it in your own format. So some of us share the same signs, like for example, mine is a feather. I see feathers all the time. I see birds as well. I really, really like the idea of birds, and actually that came around a lot today for me because I'm thinking a lot about my sign and everybody else's. If you're stuck with finding your sign, message me and I can help you find some tricks to find it. Otherwise, stay tuned for your module 3. Okay, so what I want to tell you about the third eye is an awareness into this. So your awareness into the third eye, I've started to enlighten you on this subject already. We go back to module 3 to come to that believe statement. Believe and it's there if you've got that belief behind it. Don't see it to believe it. Believe and you will see it. That is the quote I really wanted you to get to. Write it down again. Okay, so third eye awareness, if you're going to bring attention to this area in your forehead, and that's all I want you to do as you're listening to me, as you're interacting with me, you're seeing me in front of you right now, draw your attention into your forehead space. Coming back to module 1, the idea of energy. Energy begins to gather, it begins to go to where your focal point is. Energy flows to where your attention goes. If your attention goes up to your forehead, it doesn't mean you have to, look at it cross-eyed. You can just think about it. You can just draw your energy up into that space in your forehead, and it's there, okay? And even that thought process begins to open up the eye for you. Okay, so what I want to talk about is the science behind it first, because this always fascinates me, and I think it's really important to understand both ends of the spectrum. Like I'm always talking about the end of science and the end of spirituality. I love both, and both actually function with one another. So it connects directly to what is known as the pineal gland. Your pineal gland sits inside of your brain, okay? It sort of sits about 2 inches away from your forehead shape, and it sits down. And it's this tiny little bean shape. I mean, it's really, really small inside of the brain. The pineal gland, its job, it activates when you're asleep. It activates your dreams. That is responsible for your dreams. And it is a very, very mysterious subject. Still, scientists are baffled about the idea of this gland. They can't quite conquer and pin down lots and lots to write and talk about it, because how do we explain dreams? They're totally personal to you, but it's on a very mysterious level. So the third eye connects with your pineal gland, which sits inside your brain, and this is responsible for your dreams. This is what activates. Now, this is when it gets a little bit tricky. Listen up. Now, apparently there's these different energy portals in the body. Many of you are yoga teachers and healers on this group, which is fantastic. So you'll understand that we've got these 7 different energy channels in the body, also known as chakras, and each different one links to different physical areas of the body. They link to different energies inside the body as well. But what makes the third eye really interesting is it has different elements. The elements tend to stop at about the throat, so the channels work up through the body, and it gets really mysterious when it gets sort of above the heart level, your throat, your third eye, and then coming up to the top of your head. The element, they say, if it had an element, the third eye, it would be light. Okay, which is a really nice idea. So they reference to light. A lot of people see light in their meditations, and actually when you go into meditation, it is your third eye. This is the energy center you're working with. It links directly with your brain. It takes you into a different place, almost into a dream-like state, yeah? So the pineal gland activates. Now, there's some real trippy stuff which you can look up on YouTube. You can actually type in, how do I activate my pineal gland? And you should see the videos that come up. They are incredible. Real trippy stuff, but it's very cool. So let me tell you this really cool thing about the pineal gland. Scientists have discovered when the pineal gland activates, it produces light. How amazing is that? Inside the brain, deep down, tucked inside this dark organ, apparently it produces light. It illuminates when it's active. When you dream, it's bonkers. It's the light switch, so you can see what's going on in your dreams. I love it, absolutely love it. And I find that mysterious that also written in texts, ancient texts, that they think if it was to link to an element, it would be light. So I'm finding that really, really cool and really, really fun to educate you on. Anyway, put a pin in that. It's just keep it interesting. Stay curious with me. So, the idea of working into meditation, and because this is a huge subject, I'm working on you self-healing. This is our main topic of discussion here. Working into your third eye is a very, very powerful channel. Now, when I say channel, even when you're sat watching TV and you're switching through the channels, you're flicking through them, bring that idea in mind, because actually you can channel into certain ideas and channel out of them. So when healers are working with other people, they tune in. They call it tuning in. They channel in. They switch their radio station to come into the level of healing the person in front of them, and then they switch out again. Some people stay in that tuned in station forever, other people's tune in and out. So the idea of working with the energy center in your forehead space, in your third eye, is switching channel into this, okay? Now I want to tell you about another channel which works through the body, and these are, I'm going to keep it nice and simple. It's almost imagining like your physical body is a tube, this sort of tunnel, okay? And the opening is at the top and there's an opening at the bottom. So the idea of pulling in light, let's use light as an example. That's nice and easy. You've got light bulbs above you, you've got our sun above us, we've got the illuminated moon above us, pulling in light through the top of the head. We can kind of feel into that, all right? And then the idea of grounding down, I'll talk about that another time, but grounding down is a way of working with the polar opposites. So if you remember me saying about energy, the polar opposites of masculine and feminine energy, you have exactly the same thing with channeling. You channel from above or below, okay? And below is going to be nice and grounding. It keeps you in the here and the now, keeps you focused, keeps you with us on planet Earth, so to speak. And then above is the idea of heaven, or lightness, or guides, or this, you know, why do we look up when we're thinking of help and guidance above? You know, this energy that comes above. Doesn't necessarily mean it is above you, but it's just a nice way of feeling into that. There's loads of religions which respect above them as well. Lots of people sort of shave their heads. You've got the monks that sort of shave. That's a very holy area to the body. People bow down. When they bow down, they're showing the top of the head. It's a very important area to us on an energetic field in terms of channeling. And there's a picture, a black and white sketch drawing of this spiral shape going down into the skull and another one coming out of the third eye. That's where I'm going here. Okay, stay with me, guys. So when we're channeling in and pulling in this light down through the top of the head and pushing it out through the front of your forehead, don't worry if you're not sure about what I'm talking about. Just go with me, pretend, go with it as if it was actually happening. And that's the key here. That is a really nice way of opening up the third eye. So you do it from channeling the light from above and you push it out through the third eye, okay? Stay with me on the sentence, the ability to see what your physical eyes cannot see. So this is your guidance, this is your intuition, this is that pulling force. If you come to a crossroads, why we turn right instead of turning left, okay? So it's a really, really important factor that's going to play a role in your healing, because your intuition is going to be something that cares about you. And this is what matters. This is what this course is about. So it links directly to the idea of your soul, the white light we channel above, and we're opening up. We want to see what that guidance is, okay? So this is where meditation can be really powerful, because your physical eyes, what you're seeing in front of you, is a huge distraction, okay? It's one of the 5 senses. Their job is to feed the brain with information. So whether you're seeing, you're smelling, you're tasting, you're touching, or hearing, their job ever since you were born is to feed your brain with information constantly, stimulating all day long, all day long. Okay, so that's why when we close our eyes, we shut off the physical eye, so then we can start to draw into the idea of this mysterious eye that's going to pull in a higher knowledge. It's going to help you to calm, help you to heal. We want to work on heal, okay? So that's what I mean by channeling, working into the body. Now I'm going to talk about the subject of clairvoyancy, and this is the ability to hear things, see things, smell things, taste things, feel things. Again, it's going to connect to your 5 senses, but on a 6th sense level. It's sort of coming from, let's call it another dimension, so to speak. So it is, and this is something I truly believe in, and this is why I want to communicate this to you. I believe, and I am certain, that everybody has some sort of clairvoyant ability. And it's whether you choose to tap in, tune in, change the television channel to find out what yours is. For me, the way it works for me is hearing this guiding voice comes directly through hearing it. So it is the crazy person with the voices in my head. But if it works, hey, it doesn't matter. Now, I had a really nice analogy today, probably a coincidence, or not, should I say. Hearing things in your head. When you read a book, now me, I'm a very slow reader, and I feel like when I'm reading the words on the page, I feel like somebody's telling me the story in my head. So I read it as it would be read to me. I think probably the more you read, the faster that gets, but I'm going to presume that a lot of people experience that. You hear the words even though you're reading them. That is how I hear things. So I don't actually hear as if somebody was whispering in my ear. That's not what I hear. I'm not that crazy. Some people do. But it's actually almost like words are being read off a page in front of me in my head, and that's the voice that I go with. Communication, working with your intuition, I get asked this a lot. Like, how do you know if your guide's talking to you, Pip? I'm going to talk about this more strongly in the further modules, because it's going to get woo woo, you guys. It's going to get woo woo. You better tune in and change your channel. But the more you want to work with these guides, and you're just starting to feel into your signs now from the previous module, and then you'll be asking, well, why am I getting those signs? What are you trying to tell me? The best way to work with that kind of communication from the, I'll say the other side, because we're on module 4 now. You got to know me by now. Communicating with the other side, guides, spirits, somebody you love who's passed over, you want to hear a message for them. The best way to communicate is with yes or no questions. And the reason why is because, remember, on module 1 I was asking you to feel into energy in the body, and for some of you, keep going back to that. If you're still finding that challenging, like I say, there's a reason why I've written this course in this order. Go back to module 1, rewatch it, go through those meditations, start to practice feeling into the energy. It takes practice, you guys. For some it comes very naturally, for others you've got to work at it a little, and there'll be a reason why you've got to work at it, okay? Everything happens for a reason, right? So the reason why I say yes or no questions is because you will feel the energy of a yes, and it will feel very different to an energy of no. Okay, so even if you can't hear the words from that storybook telling that I was talking about, if you can't hear yes or no, it's likely you probably will, and you'll probably ignore it to begin with. So the reason why, if you wanted to hear those messages from the other side, if you wanted to communicate, if you needed a bit of guidance, if you're feeling stuck, then ask a yes or no question. And like I say, it's so much easier to feel the yes or the no, and you just go with it. You go with that instinct, you go with that guidance that's come with you, you go with your intuition that was correct, okay? So, moving on to the idea of tools. Tools as in, you got your handymen that pick up their tool bag, and they've got their hammer, they got their saw, they got their measuring thing with the bubble in the center, whatever that's called. Spirit level. Ooh, spirit level. They got their stuff. So your tools to work with this, some people work with crystals, some people work with candles, other people work with stones, other people work with nothing. There's just endless. There's so many different tools you can use. Cards, tarot cards, angel cards, light therapy, incense. Like, the idea is all these lovely things that are there to stimulate you, to help you to switch your channel, to help you to tune in and tap in. Your tools are these. Really, really nice and simple. When you get more advanced, you won't be needing these anymore. You'll actually be using this. Your third eye, your intuition. You'll be healing people directly through your higher self, through your intuition. Or you'll use both, or you'll use whatever works for you. Maybe your hair, I don't know. It's going to be completely individual to all of you. But yes, your tools are going to be through the touch of your hands, and that's why healers heal with their hands. They touch people. And actually what's lovely, I think I said this in a previous module, I was saying how the third eye connects to your pineal gland in the brain, your heart energy, because we've got these different channels throughout the body, your heart, this energy actually connects to your hands and your arms. And what do we do with our hands and arms? We pull people in and hug them. It's quite an instinctual thing. I don't know where this came from. I'm going to look into that and pin that. But why people come in and do this, and when it started and how it started, I don't know. You even see animals do it, hugging each other. Like, they know that attention to draw in and pull in. It's obviously an instinct that comes from love energy, that sort of love and passion, okay? So your tools are going to be your sense of touch as well. Into your hands, but you might find other tools, like I say, tarot cards can be fantastic, angel cards. Ooh, angel cards are beautiful. Crystals are absolutely wonderful. There's amazing topics. I won't talk about that now, but there's lovely talk about how crystals do connect with energy. And this literally goes back, I read somewhere that it connects way back, even to ancient Egypt, where the different crystals tune in. They channeled in, they switched the channel to work with love energy. So for example, I actually have one with me. A rose quartz. Oh, so apparently this connects directly with your heart chakra, and it's a very cleansing aura to work with. Okay, now I'm going to get on to a bigger subject now to do with our intuition, and this is vibration and frequencies. Ooh, good one. So, vibration. Now, when this comes into my mind, the idea of vibration, when you've seen it on a TV screen, when you've seen your voice and it does that wibbly wobbly thing, when it's recording your voice and it goes up and down like that, and then when it's silent, it's just a still line. Okay, so your vibration is also connected to energy as well. So kind of like when we're talking and your vocal cords produce a vibration, you go low, and it's got that really big, and you go high, and it goes much smaller and squeaky. And then you have your dog whistles. So you know the idea of when people blow a dog whistle, we can barely hear it, but dogs can hear it really well. It's because dogs can tune into a high frequency. I'm putting my hand down here because my beagle is down here. I'll just introduce you. Okay, this is Basil the beagle, also known as the healing beagle. I use him in my healing appointments because there's something very mysterious and lovely about him. Anyway, it's not about him, it's about you. So dogs and animals have a higher frequency that they tap in and to hear to. So I know you'll be familiar with the idea that sometimes animals just know these things, and you think, how the hell do you know that? And they comfort you and they give you attention and love, and they just have this understanding about them. And I think this is down to this vibration that they live on and that they experience. So they can hear a much higher frequency, and the idea of spirits or guides or angels or whatever on the other side that you want to communicate with, they're a high frequency, much higher frequency. So it's hard to tune in and tap in and switch channel so you can hear what's going on, but it's doable. It's totally doable, and it takes practice, you guys. So stick with those yes or no questions, but work with those vibrations. So a low vibration, let's keep it real. Let's go with where you're probably at right now. So the idea of us talking is a medium vibration, shall we call it. When we get angry and we swear, let's say you apply the F's and the blindings towards your words, that's an even lower frequency. Low frequencies are slow, they don't progress, they're not cleansing, they're not good. High frequencies are lighter, fresher, help you to be more open, more energetic, more alive, more useful, more productive. So it kind of understands, and there's a really cute little exercise you can do about, I know we always get told when we're youngsters, don't swear, it's rude. I can hear my nan saying, don't swear. And it's true, actually, on an energetic level, it's really bad. It's not good for you. It's not good for you at all. It lowers your frequency down. Okay, so try and cut out all those crappy words. Ooh. And stick with your high frequency, and it keeps you more pure. It keeps you more on that higher vibration, more likely to tune in and tap into what's real. Okay, so there we are with the frequencies of the high and low. That also links to food as well. Do you know what? Vibration actually carries through so much stuff, and probably with every single subject, but I'm going to stick with voice and what we speak, and I'm also going to talk about food as well, very briefly. A low frequency food, even me just saying that, can you think of some examples? Type in some examples in those boxes. A low frequency food, something that's going to make you feel low, slow, sluggish, low energy, can't get up, want to stay on the couch, a bit useless now. So this could be sugar. Sugar's really bad. It brings down that energy. And I'm not just saying this because I'm a vegetarian, but meat meat is a very, very low frequency. And actually, on a science level, it's very difficult for your organs to process. They have to work really, really hard to get the meat through the system. So it's actually a much lower frequency in your body. Whereas like vegetables, for example, especially fresh vegetables without additives and things, are a much higher frequency, and they tend to go through your system. Bread, cheese, yes, very, very good examples. Dairy is a tricky one. Dairy, not such a good frequency. Little tip I'm going to throw in here: if you have a cold or a cold coming on, cut dairy out for a week. Please do that and see and feel the difference. Your nose will clear up. Dairy is a very lethargic energy. It clings to your glands and it makes you difficult to swallow, makes your saliva a bit funny. Lower frequency. And when you think about it, you kind of do have that knowledge. We just tend to ignore it because it's easier, right? Okay, so the idea of coming into the vibration of your third eye is going into a higher frequency, okay? The next module I'm going to talk about next week, I want to get you excited about it already, because we're going to be doing stuff which will lift your vibration. It'll help this to open up, and it'll help things to be more clear. So there's actually physical things we can do to our bodies to help lift our vibration and our frequency, which is really, really helpful, okay? Now, there's something I want to teach you as well, which is going to be very, very useful in regards to being around vibrations and frequencies. So let's go back to what things are said. So, for example, swear words are a low vibration, a low frequency. Non-swearing is a higher frequency. Talking positive is a high frequency. Talking negatively is a low frequency. Okay, it's starting to make sense now. All right. Now, I came up with an idea and a concept with keeping it simple of 3 things that you can choose to do when you're in a situation which is a bit tricky and you need to help yourself energetically. So let's say a typical example could be at work or amongst people, and they're just talking negatively. Now, the more you're going to work on this stuff in these modules, the more you're going to begin to notice, because you are going to start to have the ability to see outside the box. You'll have the ability to look at a situation and you'll decide whether to be involved or not. Okay, you actually begin to take active decisions in your life now. It's really, really empowering. I'm so excited to teach this course. Your life is changing. I'm so excited. So there's one of 3 things. So when you feel into a low frequency, a low vibration, because you're starting to purify, because you're starting to hear these teachings. You're here now. I'm here in front of your screen because you're ready to hear these words. So exciting. So one of the 3 things when we're in that low vibration, or you find yourself upon that environment, it could be anywhere, to be honest. You know, you could find yourself stumbling across drunken people and you think, oh my God, I'm not drunk. What do I do? So one of 3 things when you're in that low vibration, you can either leave it, walk away, come away, or when I say leave, you can either physically leave or energetically leave. So you could still be part of it. So for example, if you're in a meeting at work, you wouldn't just get up and walk out. I wouldn't have thought. High five if you do, but give me a WhatsApp if you do. But if you need to stay there, then you can energetically leave. And that's going to link to my next one. So you either leave the situation, you lift the situation, and when I say lift the situation, you lift the frequency. So you pour in positive frequency, you pour in a higher frequency, which then lifts up the bar of the low frequency, so you could actively do something about it. And lifting a frequency, a lovely, lovely sentence. If you've got a pen or you're willing to write something down, please write this down. Lead by example every single time. And this is for friendships, this is for relationships, this is for professional working environments, this is for colleagues, this is for training. Lead by example. As long as you're channeling through light and love, lead by example 1000% of the way, and it works every single time. Patience is going to work behind that as well, because people around you won't get it straight away. They will eventually, but it takes work, it takes practice, like you're understanding right now, okay? So you either leave energetically or physically, or you lift the vibration and frequency by bringing in the positive talk. You don't swear. You're leading by example by lifting the frequency. Okay, so they can learn and watch. Or you protect. Okay, now protect is going to be similar to, I would say, do you know what? I'm going to stick with leaving physically. Let's leave it with physically. So it's either leave physically, lift, or protect. And protection, this is a really lovely one, which is going to be really, really helpful. I'm just about to teach you how to protect your energy. If you're around bad or low frequencies and you need to keep your frequency high, you protect yourself. And you do this by using the color blue, okay? And you imagine into a bubble that goes all the way around your physical body. All the way around it, you're encompassed in this bubble, okay? This bubble of protection. Now, there's a lovely, those of you that are working with angels, the angel you'll be working with, or the archangel you'll be working with, is Michael. And Michael, you can imagine that he places a blue cloak over your shoulders, his cloak of protection, they call it, because that's his job. He's there to protect you. Or you can imagine his wings come around you, which is really, really nice. I've had that energy as well. That's beautiful to work with. If you're not working with angels, then simply you're protecting yourself with the color blue. Even if you just imagine a blue light shining down on top of you like a light bulb, or a blue bubble comes around you. And it's really, really powerful. A really nice example, which I've been helping people with one-to-ones with, a nice training when they're going to work and they've got that feeling in their car, or before they go to the train and they're feeling like, I really don't want to go in there. I'm really nervous about it. I just don't want to go in there. There's really bad people in there. Before you get out of your car, you take a breath. You close the eyes and you protect yourself. You put that bubble around you. You have that blue light shining on top of you. Archangel Michael comes over and throws that cloak on you, okay? You know Harry Potter when he puts on that invisibility cloak? It's not like you're like, I'm not here, I'm not here. But the idea behind that is this blue protective light comes over, and it is amazing how this energy just... Literally, I just knocked over my water. Oh dear, new carpets. You'll be fine. Oh, I have a towel. Look at that coincidence. I love it. So the idea of this energy and this bubble is the energy comes here and it just slides off, or it rebounds back, okay? But whatever you're saying, if you're going for the lead by example, if you want to protect yourself and lead by example, anything that comes out actually penetrates right through it, and it takes that energy of your protection with it. Isn't that beautiful? Working with protecting yourself. So those are the 3 things I want you to write down. If you're working, if you've got a little pen and pad, if you're with me on these teachings, when you're in the low vibration frequency, when you're around people or an environment or something you don't like, or you feel like, ugh, this doesn't feel good. This isn't, your intuition is barking inside you and saying, yeah, this is not nice. We need to do something about this quick. Let those 1 of 3 things, or maybe you use all 3 of them. So your first one is either leave the situation, you take yourself physically away from it. Your second option is to lift the frequency, lead by example. Make sure if you're leading by example, it's channeling light and love only. Don't be a know-it-all, tell-it-all. Lead by example through light and love. Or your third option is to protect yourself. So energetically, it will not penetrate you. You're just aware of the situation. You're learning via your eyes, you're learning via your ears, your senses are still learning you, but it's not affecting you energetically. You're actually still in your high frequency, okay? And this can be, oh, it's so good for every scenario, you guys. If you're, do you know what? Another example could be funerals. If you've got something that you've got to go to and it's a really hard day, and of course you want to be there, but actually you need to protect yourself, so you don't bring yourself down. You just want to stay at that pure level. That's going to be really, really useful to you guys. Okay, so protection, I'm so pleased to pass this on to you because it is a huge, huge thing, and it really, really helped me in my development, okay? And this also works with if you're with friends and they're talking to you about something bad that's happened in their life and you love them dearly. You wanna hear what's going on. Could be a family member as well, okay? So you're speaking to something that you care about and they are just low frequency, low vibration. It's not a bad thing. It's just things we go through, right? Like I go through low frequencies. I have an argument with my husband. It happens, you guys, okay? So the best thing you can do when your friend is emotionally dumping on you, if you're the agony aunt, it is absolutely crucial that you protect yourself. So you're there to be that giant ear for them, but it's not going to affect you personally, okay? Because we're all on this journey for your self-healing, and if you're going to allow that energy to come in, do you remember me talking about the energy flow in our bodies and the external environment, internal environment, if you're going to allow it to penetrate your sphere, your aura, then your healing is going to stop. It's going to go on a pause. It's going to freeze because you've drawn in negative energy, okay? It only works through positive energy. It's the only way it functions and is divine. Okay, so I'm really glad to teach that to you on that protection. What I'd like to do is come into a little bit more exercises now to help to activate this area for this mysterious third eye. And pranayama, so the Sanskrit word pranayama, meaning yogic breath or life force rhythm, that's actually the translation, but it's basically breathing, okay? Yoga can teach us how to breathe. Pranayama is the Sanskrit word for that. So I'm going to teach you what's known as the alternate nostril breathing. So all you yoga teachers amongst me will know exactly how to do this. And the idea of this, before you go straight into that, guys, let me help you with a bit of a visualization, which is going to set the intent to trigger your area in the forehead, your third eye, okay? So earlier in this discussion, nobody's talking to me, I'm talking to you. Earlier in this module, I was talking about channeling through the, sorry, it's quite funny, channeling through the top of the head. I'm all alone. Channeling through the top of the head and then channeling out through the forehead. I've got the giggles now. And where am I going with this? Oh yeah, I want to clear the insides of the body now. Okay, so working through the top and out through the front. Now the idea with breath, you're aware the breath comes in and out of the body. It comes in through the nose, goes into the lungs, then it filters through the lungs, goes into the bloodstream, and then filters all around the body. And it's fuel for the muscles, in a short story. So using our imagination, like I say, we know the breath comes in and out through the lungs, but the idea of the breath channeling somewhere else, or energy, which is what it will begin to do, it will begin to attach to your intent. The idea is the breath is going to come in and up into your brain and down. Okay, and then on the other side it's going to come up into your brain and down. I want the word purification, purity or cleansing to come into your mind. Okay, whether that's going to be on a physical level, going to be working more on an energetic level. I'm going to demonstrate this alternate nasal breathing. Sanskrit name is Sukha Pranayama. And all it is simply is I'm going to be blocking one nostril and breathing in through one side. And as I'm doing that, I'm imagining the breath is going all the way up into the left side of my brain. It's clearing it out on the inhale. I hold my breath and then I'm going to swap it over. And I'm going to exhale down through the right-hand side of my nostril, right nostril. Then I'm going to inhale through that same side. I'm going to clear the right side of my brain. In the breath comes, I hold my breath, I swap it over, and I exhale. And then I do it again. Inhale through the left, cleansing the left side of my brain. I hold my breath, swap it over, and I exhale out through the right nostril. And I inhale through the right, do exactly the same on the other side. Hold the breath, and I swap it over, out. Comes out through the left nostril. Okay, so that's literally what I want you to do. We're going to do it with the eyes closed. The idea behind this alternate nasal breathing is it's very cleansing to the mind. It produces focus. So actually when we're working on the energy center of your third eye, when you come out of a meditation, bang, you're in the room, you're alert, your focus is really, really good. If you're about to do an interview or if you're about to do something where you need to perform, it gets you right there and in the room. You're totally there and in the moment. It's fantastic, really good, and also very, very calming as well. Very, very calming. So we'll do that together. So that's going to be an activation into your third eye on an energetic level. And please bring in the idea of cleaning. You're doing a spring clean in your brain, basically, all right? So find your meditation seat, guys. Whether you're sat where you are, be comfortable. That's what's going to be important. This time, not lying down, because it's going to be a bit tricky with using your hand and your arm. And I want your top of your head to be highest here. Okay, so meditation seat, lovely tall spine. Relax your shoulders, drop the chin a little. Belly draws in a tiny amount, so you just feel a bit of contact against your spine. If it feels okay, rotate the palms up in your lap. Close the eyes. And we're just going to come to simple breathing, your natural breath. In it comes, inhale. Feel your chest expand. Exhale, feel your chest retract. Just going to ask you to become aware of your neutral breath. Inhale, the whole torso expands, the ribs expand, the chest expands. And exhale, it all sinks back down to neutral. And just follow that breath for a few rounds, keeping those eyes closed. So just coming into your brief meditation. Setting the intent. Be curious about the word intuition. And you're saying to yourself, I'm aware the doorway to my intuition is through my third eye, my forehead space. I would like to set the intent to cleanse what needs to be cleansed here. I want to help activate this area. And this is going to be the loving guidance from your soul, from the other side. It's going to help you. Keep following through with that natural neutral breath. One more. And let's begin our alternate nasal breathing. I'm going to ask you to lift up your right hand and you just plug your right nostril. Plug it in. Take a deep breath through your left nostril. Cleansing the left side of the brain. Hold your breath. And then plug the left nostril, the opposite. Exhale through the right. Hold at the end of the exhalation. And then take a big breath in. Let's clean the right side of the brain. Inhale. Hold at the end of your inhalation. Let it cleanse. Block the right nostril. Exhale out through the left. That's one round. Let's do it again. Big inhale through the left nostril. Cleansing the left side of your brain. Hold at the end of your inhalation. Swap it over. Block the left nostril. Exhale. Inhale through the right. Hold at the end of the inhalation. Let it do its thing. Block the right nostril. Exhale out through the left. And let's continue. Inhale through the left. Hold. Swap it over. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Hold. Swap it over. Exhale through the left. Here we go again. Inhale through the left. Hold. Keep your eyes closed. Really draw your focus to the third eye here. Swap it over. Block the left nostril. Exhale. Releasing what doesn't serve you. Here we go. Inhale through the right, cleanse through the forehead, up to the brain. Hold. Let's swap it over, block the right, get rid of it. Exhale through the left. And we go again. Inhale through the left, clear. Cleanse. Purify. Hold. Swap it over, block the left. Exhale, get rid. Inhale, pull it in, fresh new energy, cleanse. Hold. Swap it over. Exhale, get rid. One more round. Inhale through your left, cleanse. Hold. Swap it over. Exhale, get rid. Inhale, cleanse the right side. Hold. Swap it over. The final exhale, get rid. Keep your eyes closed. Just release your raised hand back down to your leg, back down to your lap. And I want you to feel these effects. Neutral breathing now. Kind of makes you appreciate both nostrils again. But send your energy and attention and focus into that forehead space. Draw into your imagination that this third eye is just peeled open to reveal itself a bit more. Maybe it's wide open for you. Breathe into that energy, that freshness. It's a higher frequency. Similar to the idea of a dog whistle, but way higher than that. That's what we're working with here. One more breath. And then gently opening the eyes, coming back to the here and the now. Well done. Well done for giving that a go. So that's something that you can practice daily if you want to. If you've got a morning routine, that is fantastic to begin your day. I would do it after your bathroom routine. So after you've got up and had your routine in the bathroom and cleansing, and then you come out and you do your alternate nasal breathing, and it just gets you in the room. It gets you in that present moment. You're ready. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You'll be feeling the effects now. What I'm going to do is take you into a powerful meditation now. Hold your horses, guys. We're not finished yet. I've got just enough time to do this. Like I say, I've got so much to talk about with this one. And it's super, uber duper powerful. It's a beautiful frequency and energy to work with. Your intuition is, just lovely. Your direct access to your guides. So, meditation. So we just did pranayama, which is, it triggers your life force rhythm, they say. So the idea of this energy inside, this life force inside, which actually they believe sits in your belly. They believe like this is where it ignites your fire, your furnace. The idea of bringing in pranayama is it gets it flooding through the body, okay? And pranayama is another version of purification, cleansing into the body. The reason we cleanse is so we can hear those high frequencies, so we can learn to speak, act and feel and think from a higher frequency, which is going to be a frequency of love. And love is always healing. Okay, meditation. Now this is one that I've been teaching for quite a few years now, and it came very naturally to me. This is something which I channeled. The first time I channeled this was when I first started teaching yoga, and it's a good one. So I'm going to stick with this. Some of you might have had this one before with me, but do it again because it's absolutely brilliant. So it's going to be a meditation into your third eye. Okay. So find your meditation seat. Lovely tall spine. Relax those shoulders. Palms up, be on a receiving angle so that light from above can not only come in through your crown, it can go directly into your palms, into your tools. Close the eyes. Relax. Relax your face. Relax everything about you. And come back to that beautiful breath of yours. The chest rising and falling. The ribs expanding and retracting. Your whole torso expanding and retracting here. Keep those eyes closed and just gently sit into your relaxation. Listening to the guideline of my voice. Just be here. I'm going to take you on a journey. Breathe a little more. This journey is going to begin in a tunnel. Find yourself in an illuminated tunnel, light, inviting. You're walking through this. Now at the end of this tunnel are 3 doors. You see one on the left, you see a door on the right, and you see a door in the center. I'm going to ask you to go towards the door in the center. Now the door on your left represents your past. The door on the right represents your present. The door in the middle represents your future. We're going to go through the middle door. We are going to go through the door into your future. So, let's open it. You begin to open this door, and as the crease appears, as you begin to be revealed what's on the other side, it's just this beautiful golden white light. It would be blinding, but here in our imagination, it's not. It's safe. You open up this door and you step in. Let yourself be surrounded by love and comfort here. You find yourself curious, maybe even a little bit scared or intimidated. That's okay. Now as you set in here, the door softly closes behind you. Finding yourself still curious in this beautiful golden white light surrounding you. You look to your left and you begin to notice a shape, like another tiny little human being. And it's starting to walk towards you. You can't quite make it out. But as it gets closer, the features appear, the face shape appears, the clothes appear. And as this person comes up to your left-hand side, you begin to notice this little person is you as a child. This little person is your past. Bend down and greet this person. This person is dying to see you. Allow that love energy to come through those hands and arms and hug this little person. For you are at a place of great understanding that this little person doesn't quite have yet. Reassure this little person with your hug that you are okay. Now, as you enjoy embracing this little past person of you, you begin to sense another presence. As you stand up, this being begins to form to your right and walk towards you. Can't quite make out who it is or what it is, but it looks like the shape of a human being. In fact, it looks very similar to you. And as this person forms features, clothes, you recognize it is an exact mirror version of you, as if a mirror had been placed right in front of you. That is this person to your right. Look at this person, smile at this person, and embrace through that energy, through your hands and arms, through that love. This person understands everything you've been through right up to this point, right now. Right now. Embrace your present version. And then you notice another version. There's another presence in the room. And you look directly ahead. The little version of you to your left, a child. The version to your right, the present. And ahead of you. Now this light is brighter than you've ever seen before in your imagination. So golden and white. It begins to come towards you, just a light. It begins to form the shape of a human being as it gets closer. You still can't quite make out what it looks like. And then gently, softly, this energy begins to reveal itself. It is you from the future. It doesn't matter about the features or what it looks like. Just understand this beautiful golden white light. And the energy you're picking up on is such a profound amount of understanding. For this being knows exactly what you've been through and exactly what you haven't been through yet. And you see this person, this entity, smiling, opening their arms and welcoming you in with love. And as this entity pulls you in and embraces you, it whispers in your ear to say everything is going to be all right. Allow those words to ring inside you. After this entity has embraced you, it puts its hands on your shoulders and looks directly at you. As it looks at you, you see its features, you, from the future, and it blows with its mouth onto your forehead space. This activates your third eye. This entity then goes to the other side of your ear and says, "Now I can see. I will guide you." Then it leans back, embraces you one more time. From this message and this experience in your meditation, gently turn around as it's time to leave. Open up the door. And you see these three beings, the little person representing you from your past, the person as your mirror image, and the entity from the future. As you step through the doorway, waving goodbye, this time leave the door open. So these teachings have access to you at any time you need. Slowly begin to walk through the tunnel. And as you walk through the tunnel, embracing that experience of this meditation, you become aware of your breath. Become aware of your chest and your belly rising and falling. Your ribs expanding and retracting. Your perfect form in your meditation here and now. Keep the breath slow as you come back to your experience of being here now. Becoming more aware of your surroundings. One more breath here. And then softly open your eyes. All three. Welcome back. Welcome back to a new version of yourself. So I hope you enjoyed that experience. It was a brief visit there. So that concludes our module number 4, your intuition. We spoke about third eye. We spoke about the awareness to draw your energy there into that area. We spoke about helping it to open up now, the ability to see what your physical eyes cannot see. I talked about the pineal gland inside of your brain, the science behind this. It illuminates apparently when we go to sleep at night. It activates when you dream. It links directly with your meditation. That's why a lot of people might see light. There might be science behind that in meditation, because your pineal gland, you might activate it as you meditate, so it illuminates the situation. Light is the area that connects directly to your third eye. They call it the subject there behind there. Clairvoyancy, which one are you? Can you hear things? Can you see things? Some people are gifted and actually see things in front of them. Maybe you smell things, taste certain things a different way, feel into things, okay? Be open-minded to that. Message me about that so I can help you. What are your tools? Is your tools going to be energy through your third eye? Is it going to be your hands? Is it going to be your voice? Is it going to be how you communicate with people? Can be different for everybody. Is it going to be crystals? Are you drawn to angel cards? Are you drawn to tarot, light therapy, incense? It's all out there. There are just thousands of tools that you're drawn to. Candles. I've got my little candle in front of me here. Mandarin and lavender. Beautiful. Vibration and frequencies, that was a really, really big subject. I wanted to talk about what we can do, those 3 things. If you didn't write them down, please write them down now. 1, you either leave the situation, you leave the low vibration. 2, you lift it, you actively do something about it, you lead by example, you channel through light and love so the other frequencies can lift and join you as well, or you protect yourself from it. If you need to stay in that environment, you stay with and you protect yourself, okay? I advise you to protect yourself as often as possible, and you will be amazed at the effects, how it just doesn't penetrate you. It just slips down your aura. It's beautiful, very empowering. Pranayama, we did that alternate nasal breathing. If you can bring that into your daily routine, or as often as you want to remember and can remember, it is very, very cleansing. It is an activation to your third eye. That is actually the energetic effects of it. It's very cleansing to your mind and to your brain. You know, on a scientific level, it actually calms you right down. It gets your brain to produce these beautiful, calming, happy chemicals, which you then feel the physical effects. It's beautiful science behind it, but on an energetic level, it's very, very powerful. So we're working with those higher frequencies, which animals can hear. They pick up on it straight away. So you're going to begin to notice the freaky little things that they understand, because they live at a high frequency. They're high frequency beings. So they're very inspirational. Let animals be an inspiration to you, which is why it's quite nice not to eat them. The meditation, and you can watch that and experience it as many times as you want to go and meet your future self and really feel into that knowledge and understanding that I've been through what you've been through. I just activated it. Now we did that little beautiful experience of it blowing on your third eye and saying, now I can see. So listen to that guide, listen to that voice, whether it's yourself from the future. That's a really cool way of coming into your healing stuff. It could be an angel, it could be God, if that floats your boat. It could be your divine self. And that's why I really like the idea of the future being the future version of you, because it's been through what you've been through, which is why it's trying to say, turn right, Pip, don't turn left. There's a reason why I'm telling you to turn right. It's your intuition. Beautiful, beautiful subject. So that concludes our beautiful module number 4. Lots of love to you. Light and love, and namaste.